hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.
Hello, wonderful people. I hope you liked the intro with the music. I've only had that one going for a few sessions, so yeah, I hope you like it. Anyway, welcome to tonight's Clothing Love Stories. I will first of all go over what I'm wearing today, and then we'll get into the care and repair section. So tonight I'm wearing my Where is Shame and Discourage hoodie, which you can get on the Blown for Good channel. But I'm basically wearing this because I just sort of put some water on my hair because it was all looking a bit fluffy, so I have a bit of a wet stain on my top. But then the skirt is this beautiful hand print wrap skirt that I bought in Greenwich Market probably, I want to say maybe sort of 5-6 years ago. And it's made in the Himalayas, I want to say. Now I can't, it's sort of blanked on me where exactly, but it's a group of artisans that do it, and it's all, like I say, hand printed, so each colour will be a different stamp, and it will be like there'll be a stamp literally for like sort of this section, and then this section, and then these ones as well. They'll likely be on a sort of, probably a one like these kind of 4, I would say. But yeah, and then like each colour is a different stamp as well. Just in case you didn't know how that worked. And yeah, and it's sort of, you know, a real skill to have, because they have to obviously line it up really well to get the pattern to work, and across obviously the whole of this skirt, let alone sort of, you know, obviously along like the length of fabric for many other skirts. So I really like getting clothes like this where you can, it has that sort of quirk about it that you can tell that it's handmade and things like that, and you know, sort of the little imperfections is kind of what makes it beautiful. So I really like that. Some people coming in. Sophia, hello, I hope you're well. Happy Tuesday. I started off with a bit of a funky Tuesday, but it's turned out not too bad actually. I did have to rush home though, because a client didn't turn up for a late fitting, and so then I was already going to be sort of tight for this, but then the tubes are running really slow in London, so yeah, not the best. Thank you ever so much. It isn't burgundy, although it does blend in well with the hoodie. It's actually pink, but it's I did it last week and it holds in really well, but I do have to sort of go over a few times, because yeah, I don't know, my hair doesn't seem to want to pick up colour very well. So thank you ever so much. So yeah, so that was, I was just talking about my skirt, Sophia. So it's just like a wrap one. And it's hand printed, and I bought it in Greenwich Market. And it is hand printed and made by artisans, I believe in the Himalayas, but I can't quite remember now. But I believe it's around the area, just like the area that sort of springs to mind anyway. And it is cotton, what I will say about it. And I presume it maybe is local cotton to around there, but I can't be 100%. Yeah, just from like the lady that I bought it from, she was like that it's all handmade. So yeah, I really love that. Then back to my hoodie. So for anyone that is ever coming to my channel that doesn't know anything about SPTV, then you may have heard about Scientology. So SPTV is a collective of people that are ex-members that are now speaking out against the abuses, and combined with never-ends, such as myself, who have never been in, but are either drawn to the narrative of cults, true crime would be sort of another kind of avenue in, and can either kind of, or have maybe come from that other cults. But yeah, so in some ways can sort of see the similar sort of similarities within their own life. And yeah, and then maybe that's kind of what's drawn them in, or they've just been drawn in through natural kind of curiosity. So the Where is Shelley hashtag is in regards to Shelley Miscavige, who is the wife of the current leader, sort of top rank of Scientology. And obviously we all know he's you know, sort of that Scientology is evil, but he's kind of sort of the one that's pushing that narrative forward, and doing the actions of being very abusive. So with his wife, he there's sort of things have come out now more about why she may have been put in the place where she is, but basically she got sort of sent away to this property in the middle of nowhere that no one can really get to, because you can't just stop on the side of the road, from what we gather. Yeah, and is kind of, you know, forced to work there, with obviously not much interaction from anyone else, because the whole point is it's meant to be some punishment. So yeah, so it's just sort of to create awareness about people that are being hidden away, trafficked, all these sort of things, to you know, sort of like make their life hell, really. Like, although there's people in there, and obviously people talk about Shelley as being sort of so indoctrinated that she wouldn't be that upset about being there, it doesn't matter, you know. It's sort of, they're there on false pretenses to save the world against God knows what, because, you know, it's all just made up by some fiction writer, when obviously there's real things happening in the real world that we do need to do. So yeah, so that is what that is about. And I put it on because it's getting a bit chilly here in London, and like I say, I washed my hair and I've got a bit of a wet stain on my top, so best to hide that. But this is so sort of talk about it. It is organic cotton hoodie when I bought it, and it's really nice and fluffy inside. Not to like get people buying things, but this is like a new purchase. So what I brought this back in May, I want to say May or June, and yeah, and I really love it. I'm not a big one on hoodies and such, but yeah, I've worn it quite a few times actually. I think I've worn it about 5 times since I bought it, so I'm very, very happy with that. And the skirt is, again, you can't really see it on here, but it is kind of calf length. It's fairly long, and oh gosh, yeah, I've worn this like loads. It's sort of my go-to sort of in between spring, like sort of, yeah, spring and summer, and sort of autumn winter. So autumn winter, summer to autumn. I wouldn't be wearing this in the winter, just because like the colours go really well, in particular for autumn. It's cotton. It's a fairly thick cotton, so it sort of actually keeps me quite warm. Like, considering it was so so sort of chilly today, it actually is like kept me really warm. So I'm really thankful for that. Cotton is amazing. Just to say hello to Joe. Hey Joe, thank you for joining us. I was just telling everyone about my. Oh yeah, it's I was saying the skirt. It's a handprint, and it's sort of, it's like I believe it's sort of like Malaysian. Don't come out with Malaysian for, sorry. The Himalayas made yeah, handmade by artisans in the Himalayas. So yeah, it's kind of sort of looks tribal in a way. But yeah, I never really know sort of the right terms to kind of use. Hey Poet, oh my god, you've like never joined a stream. Hey, thank you. Hit the like button. I want to have at least three likes by now. Thank you so much. And yeah, so I just absolutely love that skirt. Like, yeah, I've probably worn it so many times. But it will be, yeah, sort of probably by the end of this month, be going away in storage. Sophia, how's deciding on hoodies? So what did I get? Oh, I feel like I probably got a medium, to be honest. Oh no, I got a small. There you go. So there we go. Go and tell Claire and Mark that I'm doing their modelling. But yeah, so I've kind of gone up to a size 10 now in oh, 4. Oh, amazing. Oh, actually, yeah, because one of them's my my other account, just to help with the boosting. Yeah, I've kind of gone up to a size 10. My waist is still very, a bit petite, but yeah, everywhere else I've sort of gained a bit since still since lockdown. I've toned it up a bit, but so yeah, like, and then I've just sort of kind of rolled it up because I kind of like it to be that crop version. And yeah, so I think that it comes out really well. Like, you know, the sleeves are sort of fairly long on me, really. I think I've always had sort of, but yeah, but it's really nice. I really love it. And this is the the red burgundy rather than the purple. I really wanted the purple, and actually I feel really bad. I got Claire to put a purple on there because I really could like just see sort of it would be really nice in purple. But actually, when I looked it on the shop, I wasn't that keen on the purple. I was worried it was going to come out sort of mottled. No, sorry, no, it was looking too strong. That's what it was. Whereas actually this on the shop was looking really mottled, but then it's come out really solid. So just a little thing for everyone. Oh no, I don't know where that comment's gone. There we go. Oh, look at this. My chat's never been so busy. Thank you all. Batik. No, it's hand stamped, not batik. Oh, I love batik though. I need to I want to have a go at doing some of that because I did all that when I was back at college and in uni. When I did like a art and design 2-year HND and then a also a HND in women's and textiles. And yeah, oh my god, like love batik. Right, let's go through some of these chats. Joe, love the skirt, just sort of thing I'd wear in the summer. Yeah, it's so nice, so nice. And like I say, it's like perfect for those sort of chillier kind of days because it's just so nice and warm. Everyone just no, I got what you meant, Joe. Don't worry about that. Batik, not batak. Yes. Fabulous. Everyone is just chatting amongst themselves. So that's enough of like plugging merchandise from other stores, but do go to Blown for Good for said merchandise. So that is that. Oh, and I probably didn't even really show. It does have a hoodie, by the way. That's why I'm calling it a hoodie. So yeah, I really love that. And that's all I've kind of got to say on my outfit for today. Nothing sort of no sort of groundbreaking kind of places where I've worn the skirt. It's just a really good everyday. But the hoodie, I did actually send in my photo to Claire and that, but I think I need to email back and say that they can use it. But the hoodie I did wear on a memorable day. I did a hike back in July, I want to say, maybe end of June, July. And I went to Dirndledore, get the words right, down on the south coast of England, we did a midnight drive down and then a sunrise hike, which was nice, but I really don't recommend it. I personally do rubbish in that sort of thing. Like, I got down there so tired, I couldn't sleep on the way because I get really paranoid about because it was someone that I didn't know driving. My friend invited me, and so I get a bit interrupt this proceeding for Juliana. Hey, I'm so excited. These people in my chat. Thank you for joining us. Please hit the like button. So I was like I'm a really bad passenger driver anyway. So with that I had to, well, I didn't have to, but I did. I literally was awake the whole time. Thank God I did, because he was going so fast at some points that he nearly there was like some kind of half collision had happened just before us, and he, you know, so if it wasn't for that, then we would have like missed our turning, because he was just going so fast. And because I didn't know him, I felt bad of being like, oh, you know, like slow down. But I was just like, geez, mate, you know. So yeah, so that was the start of it. And then we got there, and I really needed a loo, and there wasn't anywhere for the loo, even though he was like, yeah, like there's toilets. And then yeah, and then I don't know, like he was like really deep into sort of talking about stuff, and which was great. But it would have been, there was me and another girl really saying like it would have been nice to have just been able to sit and meditate in that sort of thing. But he just had this whole thing of wanting to see the sunrise from the sea, but it was the wrong time of year for that. Like he didn't he just saw, you know, like this picture on Instagram or something probably, and was just like, oh yeah, that's where it will be, so we'll just like go down and do that. No, it's like the middle of the summer, so it was actually like way over the other side. So we, you know, sort of we were sort of thinking about kind of when it would be, and saying sort of kind of October would be, I think, like the better time to go. But I was like, if we're doing it again, I said, I'm camping. I'm getting down there early, like the day before, and camping, because it's just ridiculous to do that. So be aware if you're going to do any kind of sunrise hikes. Traveling overnight to it is rather hard on your body anyway. But yeah, so then there is this picture of me, which I don't have handy, but it's of me doing a nice little pose in front of the dental door once we've done this hike. So yeah, that was like really, really cool day, actually. And I wish I had been brave enough to take my bikini or swimsuit and go in the sea, but yeah, I'm not. And one of the girls did, but she had like a full like bodysuit kind of thing, which was clearly better, because then the guy, he did dipping as well, and he just had some blinking like swim short things on. So yeah, that was quite funny because he was freezing. So yeah, that was quite funny. Right, so I think, I mean, unless anyone has any comments or questions about the outfit, we can move on to the care and repair part. Hello, Pop Grandma. I've not heard you before. Welcome. Please like the stream. I'm so excited about this tonight. Thank you all. So yeah, so care and repair. So I got this nice little book. I apologise, it's ran the wrong way for you. Make, Do and Mend, that I bought when I was in Edinburgh. So if you saw my stream after my trip to Edinburgh, then you will know that I had this and said that I would go through it a bit. Now I apologise, I did want to sort of like scan the pages in to be able to show it on the screen, but we will have to do that another time, because I've just been a bit crazy at the moment in running a business. So yeah, we've got the unorganised version tonight. What does Joe say? I've heard it's actually quite dangerous to swim near Denver because of the currents. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they just went literally like not very far from shore, but there was some like proper divers that went like under the dirndl door, and you could see like all like the currents going crazy. And two of them I saw didn't have them like float things, but then there was these other two women that did. So yeah. Again, it's sort of kind of, if I would have gonging. I never like swim in the sea really. I find it really, I'm not the best of swimmers, full stop. And then yeah, like also with the sea, I get very kind of nervous about all that kind of stuff anyway. Juliana had to look up Derntal Door. It's beautiful. Yes, it is, Juliana. Really, really pretty. And it's so funny because like when I say sort of like I would have camped up there, there were so many people that like have their little tents fairly like precariously like on the cliffs, and they are there to like get photos of sort of like the sunrise or particular birds and things like that, sorts of really cool like birds of prey things. So yeah, so it was quite interesting. There was like one family I think were like camping on the beach, which I thought was a bit precarious because it's not like it's a massive beach. So yeah, I don't know how they survived not getting swept away. What does Joe say? For the international viewers, Dundledore is a natural limestone arch near Lulworth in Dorset, England. Thank you so much, Joe. Oh, sorry. GTS. God. I don't. What does GCS think? God. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, thank you very much for that, Joe. You know, I can. Oh. Okay. Are we enough into the stream? Google that shit. I like that. Just call me Wikipedia. Yes, indeed, Joe. I love it. I love it. No, it's good because like I always like miss those kind of little facts. So I kind of expect people to do research. But you know, but then I know through like all my sustainability stuff that you shouldn't. That to be honest, it's one of the reasons why I'm doing this channel is because I don't see like enough people sort of talking about these things in an everyday talk, you know, just like talking about their clothes. It's sort of like you do it on Instagram, and I feel like Instagram, you know, at least like that's how I feel with my own, because it's like my business account, so and I just don't have. I try not to give myself the time to just spend like ages on there, but it's like when I do, I end up like with all these random people. It's like it just keeps like you know, like getting me to follow other people that, and then like I go on there and I'm like, whoever are they? Because you know they're just random people who I don't even know, and I'd rather see people that I know. And it's like, and I've done lives on there, and you get like pittance of people, and although I'm not able to having that many people in the lives of these, so many more people seeing them afterwards. And yeah, and now I'm gonna like clip some of these together at some point when I can get a chance. Because then I would like to sort of use that in my social media as such. What's that? Oh, Claire just said what it stands for. Lol. Yeah, of course. So as you see it. Fabulous. Right, so I'm getting into the weeds and getting distracted by comments. So what I wanted to say was like some sort of top tips for caring for your clothes to allow them to last longer, and therefore you get more clothing love stories out of them. So kind of some of my tips, personal tips, are to always line dry. You know, sort of even if they, as my clothes have done yesterday and then today, I'm hoping I can go and save them after this stream. But yeah, they might get caught in the rain out there, but you know, sort of hopefully just like one more day, and then sort of they'll kind of then be dry. If not, then you can sort of bring them inside to dry. Though I know obviously not everyone has space and things like that. The outside space, let alone like the inside space. You know, I just have a room, and so when I have to dry anything inside, it just has to be done in here. So winter will be interesting with these streams, because my clothes dry usually goes around here. But yeah, basically it's like amazing for your clothes to dry them outside. So I really recommend that for people to do, over in particular a machine dryer, because a machine dryer will like sort of over dry your clothes as such and make them like really stiff, and yeah, then they'll just sort of yeah, won't last as long basically, because you sort of could end up sort of putting them on, and then you know it's kind of stiff, and then it sort of rips on you and things like that. The other thing is to not use conditioner, because conditioner, especially on cotton clothes, so if you ever have had jeans where it then wears away in the crotch area, and you end up with holes, that is more than likely the fact that you are using conditioner plus a machine dryer, and it really the conditioner eats away at the cotton, and then like the machine dryer will then dry it too much, like I say, and then become stiff. More so than the fact that everyone, what everyone calls it, which is, particularly as a woman, we call it fat thighs. Sorry, that's an F by a TH, and I have a real issue with them sometimes. But fat thighs, it isn't that. You know, I have them, and a lot of women have them. It's not that. It's the fact that you're using conditioner, because I have that issue, and with the thighs, but my jeans don't wear away that quickly. You know, sort of what I've had, like some Levi's jeans that I've had for 5 years now, and you know they're perfect still. There's like a few bits that are sort of wearing away down there, but that's mostly over the sort of the double seam bit. So yeah, so it's not not because of you and your body, it is because of how you are caring for your clothes, basically. Juliana, fat thighs, crying emoji. You know, honestly, I worked in Levi's as an in-store tailor, and the amount of people that would just be like, "Oh yeah, it's because of my thighs." No, no, it's not. Don't body shame. Don't body shame. It is because of how you're caring for your clothes. So I will shame you in that way, unfortunately. But yeah, so that's number 2. No conditioner. Again, through line drying, that will sort of give your clothes kind of like that soft feeling, because it's like flapping in the wind and things like that. So yeah, just try that. And with towels in particular, to give them a good old shake. To be honest, I'm like the worst at this because I always forget, but give them a good old shake after they've come out of the washing machine, and then hang them up, and then they'll get fluffy or fluffier. So yeah, another little tip. Interesting. So yeah, so that's number 2. Number 3 would be wear them less. So I'm like, I've been really, really bad for this like all my life. That you get something that you just absolutely love, especially like, you know, a pair of jeans or something, and you just wear them to death, which is fine. But in order to get more longevity out of something, it is, oh yeah, let me just interrupt. Don't worry, Juliana, I'm gonna like clip it down and do a little short with it. Because yes, everyone needs to know this. So yes, so what was I saying? Longevity. So yeah, so don't try not to wear your clothes so often. So if you can say have like sort of 3 or 4 pairs of trousers in sort of rotation, or even if like you've only got like a couple, then sort of throw in like a couple of shorts or skirts, sort of depending what you prefer to wear. No, men can wear skirts too. And yeah, so just kind of sort of throw it all in and kind of wear it sort of like every kind of 3 days if you can, sort of just to give it a bit of rest in between. Hang it up in the window again, like with a window open, for it to sort of like get air through it like in between wears. It's really good. And then and then like sort of the same with tops. So I tend to wear a vest or a t-shirt underneath things. So then that way, that's the thing that kind of if like you're running around, or sort of even like a day like when you don't think you're going to be running around, it's surprising with, especially like here in the UK, like the humidity over the past few years has really ramped up. So I'm finding that honestly I just sweat so much more now. So I tried to put a t-shirt or a vest top underneath everything. So then that's the thing that can go in the wash more, because they're cheaper items. Not that I'm saying to sort of go and spend down Primark and things like that, but sort of, even if you get a t-shirt that's like sort of £15, say, I would say that's sort of an average for like one that will say that it's organic anyway. 15 to £25, depending kind of where you buy it from. Obviously, the £25 will be more guaranteed that the person that's made it had a better wage, whereas the one that's 15, sort of maybe there's kind of, it's a lesser type of organic cotton, or it's just from a shop that has been able to bulk buy so many, so then it actually brings the whole cost down. So yeah, like even if like you're spending that sort of money, they will be made of a better cloth. So obviously, the £25 one will be made of a better cloth. So then it will last for longer. You won't get so bobbly and things like that. But obviously, sort of, kind of, again, I don't expect people to go and only buy like sort of £25 t-shirts just to sort of kind of hide under something else. But it's it's something that you can sort of build up to, sort of get like one every sort of like 3 months or something like that. Then you kind of sort of build up a few more in your wardrobe for you to do that, because like I say, it will be a better quality of cloth, so then it will last longer no matter how many washes you're doing, but you still need to sort of have a few in between, so then you're not like washing it sort of every day kind of thing. Yeah, so that's kind of what I do when I can, is to wear something underneath, so then that can be the thing that then I put out for wash every day. And then the thing that I've had on, like shirt or jumper or something that I've had on that on top, can be worn for more times basically. Febreze is also my friend, I will say. Great for sort of those in between times as well. And I sort of usually kind of get a bit of a spritz of that, and then, like I say, then hand that in my window, just to sort of air it out a bit more. And then what else? Oh, and then sort of for items that don't need to have a full wash, maybe you just spilled some food in your lap. We'll go with lap after the thigh thing. And then maybe you so then you've got a bit of a stain on that, so you can just like sort of with a sponge and some soap just sort of wash that off, and again then like leave that to dry, rather than have to put the whole garment in the wash. Putting the whole garment in the wash should be for things that are I kind of generally have a thing of like worn more than like 5 times, but obviously that's like with the sort of wearing something underneath and that, and but obviously sort of if it's completely sort of you've done a whole workout in it, then yeah, sort of kind of put the whole outfit in the wash, and yeah, and then that will just yeah, sort of help with that longevity as well. And like Juliana says, it will save water too, exactly. Washing at 30 degrees, everything can be washed at 30 degrees no matter how grubby it is, and it generally, sort of when I do that, I would go through again and sort of spot clean like some sort of parts, like sort of particularly like armpits and crotch areas. I will also go over them with a soap, just to sort of kind of get rid of like any odours and things like that. And my bedding and things I will still do at 40 because I like that to get sort of a bit of a higher heat. But yeah, generally 30 degrees is fine for everything to be washed at. Yeah, to eliminate odours and things. And then also, as extra that I just thought of that used to be such a thing that I would always say, but it's been a little while because I'm now back to sharing a house and I don't have the room in my freezer to be able to do it. But if you can, particularly for jeans, you can wrong them up into a plastic bag, put them in the freezer, leave them there for sort of a couple of days, and then take them out. They'll be in the bag so they will not be frozen. When I used to say this to people in Levi's, they would be really shocked and be like, oh my god, as if like you're going to come out with like stiff jeans that they like they do in the movies. You sort of like touch them and then they fall apart. It won't happen, particularly if you put them in a bag. You then sort of kind of roll them out, and obviously again like put them on the line or in the window or something, just to sort of get to room temperature before you put them on, because you don't want to have cold legs. And it that by freezing them, it totally kills all the bacteria, so it's perfect. So that's just like a really good tip for particularly like something that you are having to like wear a bit more, because it can work with other things other than jeans. It's just jeans is sort of like the big thing for it, because in particular with jeans you tend to not want to wash them as much because it will fade through the colour quicker, and like I say, it will just like generally eat away at the cotton a little more. But you can very much put anything in the freezer really, sort of clothing wise, and it will do the same thing, just kill the bacteria. Just gonna say hello to Joel. Hey, welcome. I'm loving how many people are here. Please hit that like button. It would be amazing. Question from Juliana. Specific kind of bag? No. I just would use like a plastic carrier bag. I mean, like there's so few of them out there at the moment that like a cotton bag would be just as good. But to be honest, I've even because I was living on my own at one point, so then it doesn't matter. I would just put them in without a bag. It's because it doesn't really make any difference. It's mostly just if you don't want it touching your bag of peas, but like everything else is in bags, so you could just like throw your clothes in there. But it will obviously anything clothing that's kind of a bit fluffy or obviously delicate, like you wouldn't want to put that in there. And anything fluffy might sort of kind of get stuck to the ice. But no, generally jeans is fine in anything. Wonderful. Let the chat. So freezer, then and also not accessible, but I also have like the garment bags. Now the ones that I have are made. They're sort of like a poly cotton mix, but it's all recycled poly. It's just like it's so hard to find cotton ones, and I tried to get some made for my brand, but they wanted me to buy like 500, and I just don't even have storage for that, let alone like £300 to kind of be able to buy them. When I kind of want them as things that I can give out to people. So yeah, it was all just a bit much at the time. Well, not something I could go ahead with, which is a shame. Because cotton ones would have been nice, and they were going to be made by artisans in India who have come out of the being garment workers in factories. Since the uprising of the garment workers, which is amazing. And also the cotton is rain-fed cotton. But yeah, just like at the moment, it's not something that I can feasibly do, which is a shame. But yeah, so I have these garment bags that I put all my garments in the wardrobe, and that will help fight against moths because we're in the winter season and the moths coming out and about. And the moth that is for the clothes is like this really tiny moth. So kind of everyone kind of gets more scared of the bigger ones, but actually it's the smaller ones that are sort of the ones that eat the cloth basically. So anything that is natural. See, at a time when sort of having natural is a bit of a hardship, but yeah, anything natural fibre they will go over after, in particular wool, which is a shame, but you can do some things to help prevent that, like I say, with the bags. Also having lavender bags. I actually have like a big bag of lavender that I brought from a lavender farm down in Surrey, and I kind of sprinkle like some of the lavender bits in the bottom of these bags, so that sort of helps. Also cedar wood is really good. If you get them like cedar wood blocks, they're really good for getting rid of the moths, as well as the vacuum pack bags. So if it's like something that you don't often wear, or you're like packing it away from spring summer, or they oh gosh, sorry, oh jeez, I do apologise about that. Or when we come back out of winter going into spring summer, then backpack bags are like really really good to use. Oh, get some tea down there. So yeah, so that's like another sort of tip against the moths, because like I say, it's moth season. Oh gosh, sorry, I clicked the wrong way. No, there we go. Joel says, I need to sew on the button. It took me an hour to get the needle threaded. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's such a pain when you get that. Though there are some needles that one of the girls that worked with me, she bought, and it kind of has like on top of the needle, sort of a bit of an opening where you like slot the thread down on, and then it's meant to like keep it in there. I found it sort of would come like then pop back out still, but that's kind of an easier thing if like you have trouble getting through the actual needle eye, because I know that struggle. I mean, I've been doing it for so long that I only tend to get that struggle when I'm showing people how to thread up a sewing machine of all the times. But yeah, but it's yeah, that's just like an extra thing that you could do. Also, there are these that usually come with, no, sorry. Sometimes they come with a needle pack, not always. But it's like a round sort of disc, then with like some wires that come out, and so then you put that through your needle, put your thread through the bigger hole that then that creates, and then put it back on itself, and then that should thread it for you, or make it easier anyway. So yeah, I hope that helps. But well done. Always congratulate a person that repairs something themselves, because honestly, sewing on a button, like I will charge everyone in the world to sew on a button, but really like that should be like the basic thing that everyone should be able to do. So yeah, so well done for doing that, Joel. I really yeah, really like seeing that, hearing that when people do repair their own things. Wonderful. So we've gone through those. What does it say here? It's got the whole thing on. Wonderful. Then, so sort of that's kind of the nuts of it with care. And obviously, if anyone has any more sort of questions on that, we can sort of go over some other things. But I will say that I also sort of in storing my clothes, I tend to have all of my dresses on hangers, all of my skirts. Some are on like the clippies, but most of them are just like flipped over a what's it, like a standard hanger with a bit across. And then some trousers that way as well. And then in my drawers, I have all of my t-shirts and shirts and jumpers. So yeah, just some sort of ideas for if anyone's sort of struggling with how to sort of hang up or store their stuff. What does it say here? Oh yeah, actually, it even says in here. Oh no, that's for ties. Oh, right. I'm going to read something from here because I've just seen. So corsets. So this is garments needing special care. Corsets. Now that rubber is so scarce, your corset is one of your most precious possessions. By the way, I will say this is from Make Do and Mend, so it's a 1940s, I do believe. Yeah, 1943 it was published. Book on how to care and mend your clothes, basically. There was sort of a bunch of these around at that time because obviously we were coming out of war. Yeah, war had ended 42, is that correct? Or after it was 45? Oh dear, I can't remember. But yeah, so you know, around that kind of end of the war coming to an end anyway. So it's just sort of to help women sort of get back into their roles, I think is kind of what I take from it. But yeah, and obviously because there was like the rations and things like that, so it's all like how to allow things to last for longer, so then you don't have to buy anymore, basically. So I will continue. Corsets. Now that rubber is so scarce, your corset is one of your most precious possessions. Be sure first of all that it fits. Sorry. In particular, don't wear one too small, as it stretches the rubber and puts too much strain on it. Bones worn in the wrong place, either too high, too low, will break. The greatest enemies of rubber are sunlight and grease. Never let your girdle get really dirty. Wash it frequently, and if possible, and if you possibly can, have at least 2 corsets and wear them alternatively. Alternately, sorry. See, that's my brain likes to jump these words. If you have one corset that you only wear on special occasions, wash it before you put it away again. Store it in a cool, dark place, not in a hot cupboard. Wear corsets over a thin undergarment rather than next to the skin, so that they are protected from grease and perspiration. Love that word. Watch them for the first sign of crack and threads, and mend at once. Don't pull or stretch your corset any more than you must. A strong pull may be the quickest way of getting into a corset, but it's hard on the material. Roll a boneless corset before you step into it. Then unroll it over your hips. If the girdle has bones or rigid supports, ease it gently into place. First on one side, then on the other. If your corsets are back-laced or front-laced, you will find they wear much better if you loosen the laces when you take it off and tie the lace afresh each time you put them on. You know, just for those corset wearers out there. Yes, indeed, Sophia. No thanks, I like to breathe. Yeah, indeed. I'm just going to go back through some of these because I think I saw that Juliana had to leave. Catch you on the replay, Juliana. Have a lovely evening or day, wherever it is, whatever it is in Brazil. There's the next one. Pup Groomer, when my hubby needs a button, he gives it to me. If I don't do it, he asks my oldest to do it. Oh, I like that. Passing it down the family. But hubby should be learning how to do that. You know, it's a button. The one thing that I will say is only a button. Only a button. I say that to other people, not I don't allow people to say that to me. But yes, I quite like that. Then right, let me get into the stitching time, which kind of reminds me of Mary Poppins. Stitching time. Although I don't think that's actually what they're saying, but that's always what I think they are. So what have they got going on here? yeah, so oh, we're reading. So what I will say for repairing is, like I say, a button first of all. Let me actually, because I do have I have a little video on sewing a button, which would actually be a good one to show here. Where are we? My passport. Do chat amongst yourselves. Um, teaching videos. Um, sew a button by hand. Yes, I should play. Oh, we're going in already. Right, so here we go. I'm going to show this for all the people that can't sew on a button. And then, oh no, we've got some funky music on this one. It's my long intro there. So you want to tie a double knot in the end of a double threaded piece of thread. So basically, you take your length of thread, you do it in two, and then you tie a knot. You do a knot just by going around itself, basically. Then you want to sew a couple of stay stitches in the cloth at the point where you want to sew your button. Now if you've got two pieces of fabric, you will do at least a couple of stitches through both layers of fabric, and then the rest you'll tend to just do on that top layer of fabric, because you don't always want it so messy underneath, especially sort of like if it's like the inside of a jacket, like you don't want that to look all messy with those where you've been sewing on the buttonhole. But it is good to get a really good sort of purchase on for the button to go through both layers at least twice. So what we've got here is sew through. Oh, sorry. Sew through each hole, two at a time if a 4 hole. Sew through one pair of holes and go through the cloth, and then go back through the other holes. Now obviously it depends how your button is. Some have the stitching crossed, other ones have it going straight down or across the other way. So if you're like having to sew on a button for something else, then just like see how the other ones are and kind of copy it basically. And then I've put that pin there. Oops. Place the pin under underneath where the button is going to go, so that you don't sew the button too close to your cloth. You kind of just want a little tiny bit above the cloth for your buttonhole to, and sort of kind of other side of whatever it is, a shirt, say, for that to sort of be able to get underneath. Now if you're doing a coat or a jacket, you have it even a bit further out, and you will do this like spin round with the thread afterwards, and that is what then gets it to stand up a bit from the cloth. And again, you only do that as much as you need, depending how thick the material around the buttonhole is, basically. So this one is just a 2-hole button, as you can see. So sew through the cloth and up through the button, through the hole, sorry, into the button, then down through the other hole, and then back out through the end of the cloth. So these are the stitches where you would only really need to do it through the top layer of the cloth. You don't have to go all the way through. And repeat sewing until it's nice and secure. Now I tend to go back round about like 3 or 4 times, depending. If you've got 2 sets of like 4 holes, basically 2 sets of 2, I will do 3 stitches each, and then on like a 2-hole button, like sort of 4 times maybe. So then this is then what I'm talking about, the wrapping it round. So obviously for a shirt you can just do it like a couple of times, but for a coat or a jacket you will go round about sort of like 6 or so times, just like really sort of wrapping it round to make it stand out. And this just lifts the button away from the cloth, and the amount depends on the cloth from the outside with the buttonhole. And then you just stitch it in and loop it round. And on this one, I should probably put my needle through the loop, and then that will just then secure the stitching. So then it then sort of locks itself basically. Now what I will do, which you don't really see there very properly, is I will do that knotting off and then put my stitch sort of back through again, often out the back end of where I was sewing, like back end of the cloth as such. Yeah, I would like all your pictures and comments, please. So there we go. Yeah, so you would take that thread back through sort of the other side of the cloth and then cut it off, just because I find that actually it's then like you're not cutting near where your knot is, so then it won't come apart basically. Joel says I've been doing it wrong. What was that? Was that on the actual securing into the fabric, or another part? Because I just saw that you commented that fairly early on. Pup groomer, he says he can't get the thread tight enough because his fingers are too thick. Oh, that's such a shame. I never thought about people with bigger fingers. 13 wedding ring. I don't really know about the sizes of rings for sort of how big that is, but I get that that is yeah, probably sort of fairly big. So that's such a shame. Well, then I will be less harsh with him. Joe says, well, young lady, you've taught an old dog a new trick. Well, I'm so pleased, Joel. Thank you for saying that and sharing that. I really appreciate yeah, when people like to say that they have learn stuff from what I'm saying, because yeah, I get a bit in myself sometimes that I'm kind of talking to, not like talking to no one, but sort of that people sort of be like, oh, yeah, I know that or whatever. So yeah, it's really nice to hear when I have helped someone. So thank you, I appreciate that. And then if you haven't seen the video on the threading up a sewing machine, for those repairs that might need to have a bit more of a machine ability over than just a hand, or yeah, like maybe it needs a different type of stitch, like a zigzag or something, then do go and check that out. That is learn to thread a sewing machine. So I have it just as a video, which like just has the music like that one did, and the printed text, or you can get the one with my commentary, which I've been told has made a few people laugh. Is in my live streams. So yeah, so go and check them out. I also watched one recently on a zip, so that was that was a really good one. And I'm going to do an invisible zip next, but I'm not 100% sure what day I'm going to do that, because this week I'm quite busy outside of work. But yeah, I feel like we've kind of covered quite a bit. The other one that I would like to go over is the sewing up a hem, but I'm not 100% if I have the video on here. No, that is a shame, but I will do that as a stream, because I have that on my what's it, on my TikTok. Yeah, that's such a shame. And it's like my best video on anywhere, but obviously particularly on TikTok. It had like so many views. Yeah, I'm really pleased with it. I'm trying to think of where else that video could be. Probably just on there. So yeah, I will do another video of that, because that is it's like a really good one for people to see. So that is fine. Well, welcome. Thank you all for joining me. I hope that was good. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it at that, because my voice is getting a bit croaky. But I will do another stream with this book, but I will actually scan it in and do a whole like presentation, because I think that will go through better. And yeah, because they're always quite sort of funny with kind of the types of clothes that they talk about, and also sort of the little tips that obviously they had back then that we can definitely use now, particularly with sort of I can't even think of the word now. Times of austerity as such that we're going through, as well as like the climate crisis and things. And I know I was going to talk about sort of more on kind of the labour of garment workers and things, but I might have to do that for another stream, because this has gone on fairly long. But thank you all for joining me, and yeah, I will decide a date next week for us to sort of continue that chat, and we'll go more into the garment workers, because I'd quite like to do a bit of a presentation about that one as well. just of sort of places that are doing things to work with garment workers, like garment workers in a decent capacity. Also with like ex-garment workers that are now in these sort of artisan collectives. Hello, Rick. Oh, right, you can go away. Sorry, I don't know who you are. You can go away. Oh, for God's sakes. Right, okay. This is definitely going to be the end of it because clearly this is a time when all these idiots come in. Oh, for God's sakes. Right, get you away. Well, Rick, I was going to say hello to you, but I'm now not sure. So wonderful to see you all. Right, yes, thank you. Wherever you are, you can go away too. It's from wherever you are. Right. Well, wonderful to see you all. Bye.